Video walk on Keystone Cougar. First things first, you are pre-wired for a backup camera. It does not have the camera, you have to buy the kit. Then you can have us install it if you'd like. It just replaces that black piece. Bumper caps come off. It's gonna be the perfect spot to store your sewer hose. .50 amp shower cord. This is your shower cord. It's about 25-30 feet long, and then it comes with this. You can twist it on there to keep it plugged in. If someone trips over it, it's not going to get unplugged. Sewer drains. There's some water in there from when we tested it, so don't mind that. One on your left is your gray. One on your right is your black. I always make sure those are closed before I take the cap off. So push them closed. That prevents you from getting a nasty bath. And then I always do the black tank first, then the gray to flush it out. Moving along, you have your water hookup. So you hook your hose up to there. If you're like that, you're going to be filling your onboard tank. If you're like this, you're going to be city. So if you're operating off of city pressure, you don't need to run your water pump. Hook up for outdoor sprayer. That's this right here. It's like a quick disconnect, like an air hose. Below that, black tank flush. You can hook your hose up to here as you're draining your black tank. There's a little nozzle in there that'll spray everything out. You're pre-wired for solar. You'd have to buy the solar kit. It hooks up to there, and all that does is trickle charge your batteries. Plenty of storage. Battery disconnect, so if you're storing it and you don't want anything to use voltage, you can turn your key to disconnect your battery. However, if you're having it plugged in to charge, then make sure that is connected, or else the charger isn't going to reach your battery. To the right of that, you have a light switch for your little accent lightings up front. And then your control panel for your leveling system. So when you're ready to use it, you just hit auto level. It's going to level it for you. You can tell we've already done that. It'll all go down. And all your instructions for it are actually right here. Very simple, easy to read, easy to understand instructions. And then that's the part for the solar ready stuff. It comes with all the stuff when you buy the kit for it, it'll come with everything you need to install solar around here. Dual 30-pound cylinders with an automatic changeover regulator. Whichever one it's pointing to, that's going to be the one it pulls from first. Once this one gets empty, there's a little diaphragm in here that'll open up to start pulling from this tank. However, this won't move, indicating it has switched tanks. Some people have it in the middle, thinking it's going to pull from both tanks equally. That doesn't do anything. It's one or the other. Light on your power tongue jack, and then as well as raise and lower, extend and retract. That does operate with your leveling system too, as well. Chains, obviously, when you hooked up, cross them. Your 7-way and then your breakaway. Pulls the pin in the box in there. It's going to activate the brakes on the trailer in case your hitch were to come undone for any reason. Other half of that storage, you got that crank handle. That's the backup for your tongue jack. You get through there through that rubber cap. Outdoor shower. This one actually has hot and cold, and like the sprayer on the other side will just be cold, as well as a spot to hold it there too. Right here, got Gfci protected outlets. All your Gfci outlets are on the same circuit, so if one were to trip, they're all going to trip. And next to that, you have cable inlet and a cable outlet and a satellite outlet, depending on what you have hooked up. So if you wanted to have a TV outside, you could. Out there, the exterior range vent. So if you are running your fan in there when you're cooking on your stovetop, make sure this is open, so the fumes actually have somewhere to go. And then when you travel, push it closed. Those little rubber tabs keep it closed. That way it's not flopping down the wind when you're transporting it. Exhaust vent for your furnace. Keep this clean. They do make screens for these. They don't recommend you run it with the screen on. It just restricts airflow. But as far as storage or transportation, it's good to have those on to keep insects or debris from building up in there. Fridge, keep it clean here too. Keep all of this clean. You could even pop it off if you needed to and clean from inside there. Just give these a quarter of a turn. I use a coin or a flathead screwdriver, works good to pop it off. Outdoor kitchen area, have your outdoor cooktop. Pull it out. You have your propane hose there. It hooks to right there. It's a quick disconnect, and then that's your valve for it right there, the little black tab right there. And then you just open it up. These will swing out to have it open like that with locking tabs, and then this is your retaining clip for it. And then all you would do after it's hooked up is you push and turn, and then it'll light. Now if it's the first appliance you try lighting, it probably won't light right away because the gas has to reach it. Then outdoor mini fridge, this is only going to work if your camper is plugged in. Water heater. So your door is right here. Just goes in there like that. Then you have, that's your switch for electric. You can turn it on and off from out here. It's not going to do anything until you turn it on from your in-command system. But if you're trying to run it electric and you're not sure why it's working, that switch is probably off on the outside. When you're ready to use it, all you have to do, put this plug in, get it hand tight, and then tighten it with a socket. It's an 1/16" socket. I use that with a little extension to get out here, and then a ratcheting wrench. Don't over tighten it, just get it snug so it doesn't leak. Then as soon as you hook up water to this camper, it's going to start filling it up in there. Definitely recommend draining it after every trip. You don't want water to sit in there, it'll start to get stagnant. So to drain it before you pull your plug out, crack your pressure relief. Drain all the water out of there. And then once it stops, close it. Then you can pull that plug out. If you neglect to do that first, when you take this off, all that pressure is going to come out of here and you're going to get a hot bath. And that rod's going to go shooting out if you don't catch it in time. So that's how you drain your water heater. To drain your fresh tank, is actually you can see it right there. A blue valve right there. With a blue line with a white valve, that's to drain your fresh tank. And then right back to the back again. You do have a ladder, so it is a walkable roof. And I do recommend going up on your roof every once in a while. Safely. There's no fall protection or anything. And then you're inspecting all your sealant around all your fixtures. We'll come on into the inside. We'll cover your in command. So right now your default passcode is 000, all zeros. If you wish to change it, go to settings. You go to passcode. It'll ask you to type the current passcode in, and then you'll type in a new one. If you do change your passcode and you ever take it in for service work, please let our service writers know that you did change it, else we won't be able to get in to do any of the work. Those are the settings you can mess with here. Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, date and time, passcode, brightness. You can edit other stuff. Just read battery voltage, turn on and off your water pump, turn on and off your water heater, hit it. You can do gas and electric. If you are going to use electric, make sure you do actually have water in your water heater, otherwise you're going to burn out that heating element. You got your thermostat is in here too. So the first option will be front AC optional. This does not have a front AC in it, but it is optional for one. You can hit mode. Fan, that's just going to run the fan on the AC, that won't turn the compressor on. Cool, you can set it. You set it on auto. If you set it below the zone, it'll kick on. If you go through auto, high or low, high is always going to be on, low is always going to be on. That'll just be the fan speed. I definitely recommend just auto for your fan speed. That's going to allow it to cycle on and off to keep it from freezing. After you go cool, you'll do heat. Again, you can set it to whatever you want. On auto, it won't turn your furnace on because it's set below the current zone temperature. It'll ask source. Your only source is gas. And again, fan speed auto. And then if you hit this one more time, then the whole system's on auto. So if you have it set to 60 and the zone is 67, it'll run your furnace to get it hot. If it's set to 55 and the zone is 67, then it'll run your AC to cool it down. so it'll know whether to turn the furnace or the AC on for you. I just do one or the other because I know if it's in the summer I'm going to use my AC, and I know if it's in the winter I'm going to use my heat. You can schedule start and stop times. Lights, you can control your awning lights out here. Those are those lights right there. See? Whoop. Nice and bright. You can also control them from out there, and we'll show you when we control the awning. Your ceiling lights, that'll just turn you on and off your main row of lights, and then your bedroom light you can turn on and off from here too. Here, let's see. There we go. There we go. You can control your slide from in here, and then your awning, so you can go out with your awning from here. Yep. Your awning does not automatically stop when it's out. You'll have to visually look. You'll see the bare tube, and then the flap will flip over, and then you know you're out. You can, however, control your awning from out here. Just push and hold this button that's labeled unlock. It's got a little lock there. Push and hold till it turns green, and then you can control your awning out here. So in and out. Turn your lights on or off from here. And then you can turn on and off the wind sensor. This one does not equip with the wind sensor, but it's wired for what I believe. Little trip though, you may find it natural to hold this like this as you're running your awning in. If you look, you will hurt your hand. So move your hand out of the way when it's time. Just like that. Then you can read tanks. So we have your black and gray one filled with water for testing. That's draining. So it'll look like that when it's full, and then it'll be like 1/3 and 2/3 on while it's on its way. So black one and gray one are your bathroom, and then gray 2 is just gonna be your kitchen sink. Then you turn on and off all your interior lights in the main area from here. The lights over there will have to be turned off at the actual lights themselves. Right here, got your breaker box, all your fuses for your 12-volt stuff, all your breakers for your 120-volt appliances. If you look, you got some 15s and a 10, so I recommend just keeping a handful of fuses just in case. Got the carbon monoxide and propane gas alarm, that's hardwired to the 12-volt system, so there's no batteries you have to worry about changing. Coming through here, bathroom's very self-explanatory. This is your resettable GFCI, so if any of your GFCIs would have tripped, this is where you reset it at. Other than that, very simple. You have a fan in here. Turn it on and off from here, and this is how you raise and lower that vent. And your light switch for in here. Your toilet. It's a pedal right here. As long as you're pushing it, it's just going to keep flushing. The nice thing about this toilet is it's actually porcelain. So it'll feel like your toilet at home. Your shower, self-explanatory, hot, cold. When you are traveling, make sure these are locked together. That way these doors aren't swinging all over the place when you're traveling. Over here, so you are set up to have the wireless booster here, the wireless Wi-Fi router. You'd have to go to Furion and order the router. Those are a couple $100, and then you pay a monthly fee for data, so that you can have access to a Wi-Fi in here. And then you go to, it says right there, visit the website to purchase your router. Below that, that's your room temperature sensor for your AC. So don't cover this with anything, or put a coat rack or hang coats there. You don't want that to be covered. TV and all your remotes up here. So your remote for your fireplace, your radio, and then your TV. So your radio is a regular old radio, but it acts as a DVD player. So you have power on, your different zones. If zone 1 is on, it plays inside. If they're both off, it plays none of them. Zone 2 is outside. So you can have one or the other, so if it's late at night, you can listen to music inside without bothering the people outside, or vice versa. You have auxiliary, headphone, and USB, and then right here, Bluetooth, you'd look for a Furion DV3300S-BL on your phone. You compare it to that. It'll ask for a pin. It's usually going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, all zeros or all ones. It is also an HD DVD player. I don't think it's a Blu-ray player. I think it's just HD. Yep, just HD DVD player. So you'd have your TV on one of the HDMI channels, pop your DVD in there, and then you can watch it on your TV. And I do believe it pipes your audio through these speakers there. You can also unstrap it right here. Set these straps aside. And then, see if I can pull the TV out like that and adjust it. Whoop, whoop. And you have access to swap. So if you do have a satellite hooked up on the outside, you would swap it to the satellite like that. And then you have 2 USB ports there. And that also gives you access to the back of your TV. So if you're going to hook up like a game console, or if you wanted to put a Blu-ray player in here, you could do that. But make sure when you travel that you do lock your TV, strap your TV back in place. We'll do that for you right now. Just like that. Remote for your fireplace. Your fireplace is only going to work when you're plugged in. But it does push out heat. So you got Fahrenheit, that changes the temperature, as you can see. Heat changes no heat, low heat, high heat. That's like your fan speed. Dimmers are just going to change the flame. Timer, you can set a timer all the way from 1 hour all the way up to 8 hours, I believe. Yep. And then you have your on and off button right there. All your controls are on the fireplace itself, right there. And then you have a switch right here. So if that's off, it's not going to work no matter what you do. Recliners. So right there, both sides you have this black tab, pull that up, that's going to recline, and then you do have USB ports with a light there too, and then heat and massage in both chairs, as well as fold up for anything you want to put in there. This turns into a bed. All you do is pop the table off, pop them legs out, rest it on this shelf. Then you rearrange your cushions to create a platform to sleep on. Fridge, super simple. You have 2 buttons, on or off, auto or gas. If it's flush like this, that's on auto. If it's sticking out, it's on gas. Auto is going to default to 110. So if you're plugged in that way, that's what it's going to run off of. But if you were to lose power, it's going to automatically switch to propane. However, unlike your fridge at home, these 2 take about anywhere from 8 to 12 hours to get to their operating temperature. So keep that in mind. Cooktop with a folding glass. That's going to act as your backsplash, as well as the one back there. And to light it, all you do is to turn onto the flame. Twist the light. We did have the gas off, so that there goes all the gas in the lines. But your dual 30-pound cylinders are filled. To light your oven, it's a little bit differently. You turn this to the little flame, push and hold. Then you turn this. As you turn this, you can even probably see in there your pilot. You can light your pilot with the sparker. So you push and hold this, keep turning that until the pilot's lit, and then you would turn this to what temperature you want it at. If you plan on using it again and you don't feel like relighting your pilot, if you turn it off but onto the flame, it shuts the burner off, but it leaves your pilot on. So all you'd have to do is turn it again when you use it. But make sure you turn it off before you go to bed. You don't want a lit pilot overnight. And this does your lights for these knobs as well as the light in the oven. Fan vent. So we got light and then your fan. So if you're running that fan, make sure that flap I was showing you outside is opened rather. And then your microwave, just like your standard household microwave. This is only going to work when you're plugged in. So that is on its own GFCI. So if that one would have tripped, you'd reset it in the bathroom. This is the only one that is on its own GFCI circuit. So if this GFCI would have tripped, this is you reset it at this outlet. Nice little sink covers. You can use this as a cutting board. I would recommend using this side because you won't see that when it's like that. And then living room and bedroom have their own light switches. So they always look like they're in the off position, but they click on and off. That's just because it's connected to the in-command system. Your bedroom in here has that same type of switch too. The switch for in here, however, is like a capacitive touch is what they call it. So you touch it, it turns off. But if you touch and hold, it does dim. So you can dim your lights. for a little bit of mood lighting. Coming in through here, spot for a TV to be mounted right here, as well as cable, an antenna hookup, and then satellite hookup there, and then power. There's a room temperature sensor. It's already installed for in here, although there is no AC. It is pre-equipped to be wired. It's already wired for an AC. It does not have an AC on it. Same type of switch I was just showing you. Click on and off to turn the lights on or off. Both sides of the beds have dual outlets and USB ports. The bed does lift up for storage with some struts to help hold it open, which is nice. And then next to the bed, you have this little panel here. You can lift it up just like that. That's access to your pump and all that. And then plenty of storage on either side and above. And then you have a carbon monoxide alarm. So this does have two. There is one built into the propane alarm, and there's one in the bedroom. It does take 9-volt batteries, just like your smoke alarm does. You can see it up over there. When they start doing the low voltage chirps, it's time to replace those batteries. Emergency exit here. Just lift this up, push it out. You can use it as a regular window like that, or you would push it all the way out, let it swing, and then you would pull this, yank the screen out, jump out this window. However, I would rather escape to the door that's right there. And then, so one final look around, and then that concludes your virtual tour of your Keystone Cougar.